Now, you did a lot of things. You studied a lot of things. You went the traditional route, that an Asian parent or a Vietnamese parent would like, and that is you went to university, and then you did your postgraduate program, right? Tell us a little bit about your education history and why you chose that path instead of full dance.
Yeah, okay, so quickly in my educational background, so I went to University of California, Irvine. I got my psychology degree, my bachelor's degree in psychology, and then after that I got into a medical university called Loma Linda University, where I studied occupational therapy. And then later, when I came back to Vietnam, I got my doctorate. And so I got my doctorate in occupational therapy, and one of the main reasons why I decided to get my doctorate was, one, I knew that this path was for my parents. Bố mẹ anh very Vietnamese traditional parents. Well, they knew that when you go into the health industry, you are going to be financially stable. And I think as immigrants coming to the States, they knew that that was going to be something where you can live comfortably and you can live with a life that you want. Because they're immigrants. They had to come over, and the time that the first several years of their life was a struggle, and they didn't want their child to struggle through that. And so that's why they always meant health, and especially medical doctor. For me, I felt like medical doctor probably wasn't my thing, even though I know that in the medical system, that was probably like, the medical doctor is the top. In that system, they're the top. I chose a field where it's related to movement, and it's related to something that I like, because I like to move, related to dance. And so I chose occupational therapy, which has that kind of creativity in it compared to physical therapy. And so that's why I chose occupational therapy. And then why did I not go full dance? Because dance to me was, so literally was a passion, and it's a passion that I wanted to nourish it and to allow it to grow. So, as when I was with my group of friends, my crew in high school, we wanted to build ourselves so that we can go and dance battle, and then when I learned about choreography dancing, the moment I learned about it, I was like, wow, it's a different way of moving, and it's still related to dance, and I incorporated breakdancing in it. So it was just very wow to me, so you kept wanting to nourish, you kept wanting that, it was almost like a drug, oh wow, I can do this, let's learn how to do the next one, faster or better. And then when we made it onto America's Best Dance Crew, that opened the door for our community. Our community was doing it for several years, but finally, this platform showed that Asians were dancing hip hop, and it wasn't just other minorities. And Asians were doing it at a very high level, and it was very creative because it was something the rest of the U.S. wasn't doing. And so that took us to a lot of opportunities, but I was still doing it for passion, And then I led a professional dance company, so it was alumni of that dance company from the university, and we were doing it together as a passion, but still doing it at a very high level because I had a lot of members that wanted to go into the entertainment industry as a dancer, dancing for J-Lo, Ariana Grande, Justin Timberlake. So even though it was a passion for me, but all of us are doing it at very a level that was very high, and so it's just still a passion. And for me, it wasn't about money. It was to be able to, and something that kind of spark your life force to do something that is always challenging. I mean, I chose dance, and dance, what I want to share with everyone is that I wish my passion was something else, because dance requires so much, physically, it's, every time a 3-minute performance requires how many weeks of training, and every day 3-4 hours of training, 7 days a week for 3 minutes on stage. So yeah, and I never, it was just a passion. And then until coming to Vietnam, when things flipped, so the passion became more of a career. I would say more something I focused on more, and then the therapy side kind of became more the passion. So now I still like I just shared recently with you is the very first cohort of occupational therapy students at the Medical University Hải-Dương. I was able to teach them, and so like now like I'm interested in like learning about like so my pastime is to continue learning about the health, how the body moves, my muscle development, and all that stuff. And then like most of my time is about dance. So everything just kind of took a flip. But the thing about the both is they're all related to movement. And I think that's why whether like it flips back and forth, it doesn't matter to me because I enjoy moving. And I think moving provides you a lot of meaning in life.
What's your advice, I guess, you know, now that you're here and you've experienced all of this, what's your advice to your 15, 16-year-old self? And what's your advice to the current 15, 16-year-olds who is like, I don't know what I want to study, I like everything, or I don't like a lot of things, you know? So a lot of questions in that question.
Yeah, great question. My 15-year-old self, wow. I felt like when I was 15, I was, I think I'm like most, I would hope to say I'm like most 15-year-olds where you're still not sure what you're doing. Besides dancing, I also love playing basketball. I snowboarded. I was into several other things. Yeah, but for 15-year-olds now, I say just allow yourself to explore many things. Don't feel pressure that you have to know how you're setting your life. Just know that things that you explore and things that you're going to do, learn from what it is that you want to try, and learn how it builds you internally. Allows you to like develop your mind, like calmness and stillness. So explore. I would say don't sit around. You know, at 15, you know, a lot of times you just want to hang out with your friends, right? Which is it's good. You know, you have to socialize. So that's also ways for you to develop. But do other things, not just don't. Cà phê thì nên đi cà phê, nhưng just đừng cà phê cả ngày, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess for the 15-year-old, it's nên đi trà sữa.
Trà sữa, yeah, sorry, yeah, trà sữa, yeah. Don't trà sữa all the time, but you know, like once in a while trà sữa, and then like explore other things, you know, like because you want to develop yourself and you want to be well-rounded. You know?
And I think there's a lesson that the current 15, 16-year-olds in Vietnam can learn from you as well.